Pokemon Minimum Battles, a unique challenge created by JRose11. If you haven't checked out his content before, then leave here now and watch his content because he's awesome. The rules for Minimum Battles are as follows. The goal is to beat the entire game, but I have to run away from any and every wild battle. If I can't run away, I must count it as a battle. I must also avoid any Pokemon trainer that is not absolutely necessary. If I have to choose between two trainers, I go for the one with fewer Pokemon. I am also not allowed to use items in battle, and I'm on set difficulty. With all that said, let's start. I started my journey by choosing Cyndaquil. A lot of thought went into this decision. What made me choose Cyndaquil, besides favoritism, are Faulkner, Bugsy, and Whitney. Faulkner has a type advantage on Chikorita, and I didn't choose Totodile because of how difficult Sprout Tower would be. In addition, Cyndaquil has a type advantage over Bugsy, and if I get Flamethrower from the game corner, I have good odds against Whitney. After choosing Cyndaquil, I left for Mr. Pokemon's house, running away from all Pokemon, which is new for me since I never run away from battles. On my way back, I got to my first battle, Silver. I beat Silver easily using Leer 3 times, then tackling. I leveled up and received 1 attack EV. After returning to Professor Elm, I said goodbye to Mom and left on my journey. If you do choose to do this challenge on your own, I would recommend not having your mom save part of your money now. My next battle was youngster Mikey with his Rattata and Pidgey, giving me 2 speed EVs total. In this challenge, I would recommend recording EVs. I'll show you why later. My next battle wasn't until Sprout Tower with the first Sage, with 3 Bellsprouts, which I easily beat. The next 4 battles were all Sages, all of which used Bellsprouts, then the Elder, all of which were easily beaten. After Sprout Tower, my next battle was Faulkner, and we were at the same level. I actually didn't win the first time. I thought using Leer and Quick Attack would be a good strategy, but then simply using Ember and getting a burn was all that I needed. And the icing on the cake, Cyndaquil evolved after the battle. After I beat Faulkner, I received the Togepi egg and got the HM Rock Smash. I then actually avoided all the trainers from the Root and Union Cave. My next battle and my next 4 battles were the 3 Team Rocket Grunts and Proton in the Slowpoke Well, but my higher level Quilava easily beat all of them. There's only 1 required trainer battle in Bugsy's gym, just the one with the Weedle line. The double battle can be completely avoided so long as Togepi hasn't hatched yet. Then Bugsy with my type advantage. In my higher level, this battle wasn't a challenge. I just used Ember and won. Then my second battle with Silver. This battle is tough under Nuzlocke rules, but this time it was easy. 3 Leers and Quick Attack won me the battle against Crocodile, and his other 2 Pokemon were easily beaten as well. I ran away from all battles in Ilex Forest and avoided all battles on the following route, making my next battle in Whitney's gym. But before I went to the gym, I went to the game corner and got 1 Ekans, 1 Dratini, and 1 Abra, and the TM for Flamethrower, and I got the held item Metronome. Metronome increases an attack power of an attack by 10% for every time it is successfully used consecutively. For example, the first time you use a move, no increase. The second time, 10% increase. The third time, 20% increase from original power. It is possibly the most useful item in the whole challenge. I only fought 2 trainers, one with 3 Jigglypuffs and one with 1 Snubble. Then went to Whitney. I used the awesome strategy of Flamethrower and Charcoal held item and won. Then comes our next Pokemon, Kenya the Spearow. Kenya was in the original Gen 2 games and was a major part of J Rose's original strategy. But if you do this challenge, get Kenya and use her against the trainers in Whitney's gym and Whitney herself. This is because it is important for Kenya to get as much XP before the Pokemon League as possible. Also, money is very important in this game because in the department store you can buy EVs. Since I obviously can't EV train in this challenge, I have to buy the EVs here. I can give these to my Pokemon until the EVs surpass 100. Now, it is important to note that in this game, there are 3 ways to get infinite money without battling. 1. Go to the game corner, win TMs, and sell the TMs to the department store. 2. Get apricorns, give them to Kurt, the man who makes the Pokeballs, and sell the Pokeballs. And 3. Grow berries and sell them. So to keep difficulty and enjoyment in this challenge, I'm not going to let myself use any of those strategies. Now, your mom will buy you berries. I can sell the ones I get from my mom, but not other ones. This is why you don't let your mom hold your money yet. So you can get the EVs at the department store as quick as possible. The most important EVs for Kenya are attack, defense, and special defense. Special attack is completely not needed. Fearow is a fast Pokemon and will mostly be above level in battle, so speed EVs aren't essential. HP is needed, but higher defense and special defense will just cause me to take less damage anyway. So buy as many proteins first, then defense, then special defense. After Whitney, you'd think I'd go through the next route, but I don't. I go all the way around the map, and I approach the Sudowoodo from the other side. While I'm doing that, I taught Togepi Rock Smash and got the Shell Bell. I can actually just run away from the Sudowoodo, so I have to run away. The next battle is the first double battle, but if you walk into it with one Pokemon, it will count as two battles, so I must come into it with two Pokemon. I should have gone in with Kenya and Togepi, and let Togepi faint so Kenya can get more EXP, so if anyone watching does this challenge, do that. Then there is a battle in the theater to fight one Team Rocket Grunt who is easily beaten. Then there is the third battle with Silver. It is not bad, but I did end up using Quilava to beat Magnemite. Then we have a bit of a problem. Everyone in Morty's gym has Pokemon that give special attack EVs, and they're useless for Fearow but awesome for Quilava. So, I would love to get those EVs to Quilava, but I need as much EXP before the Pokemon League as possible, so Fearow gets all the EXP. Looking back, I'm not totally sure what is best to do. Giving the EXP to Quilava might be the best play, you'll see why later. There are 4 gym trainers, and then I battle Morty himself. Morty is very easy with a normal type Pokemon, as Gengar can't hit Fearow with any move except Sucker Punch, which can be avoided by using Leer. I did have to use Quilava to deal with a Haunter, so that I don't succumb to Dream Eater, but it wasn't a difficult battle. Next, I went to the lighthouse, and there were only 3 needed battles in the lighthouse, Alfred and the 2 sailors. After that, I teach Surf to the Dratini and sail to Cyanwood City. There is only 1 trainer in the gym that I have to battle. Unfortunately, I lost the footage for that and for Chuck, but I have a high level Fearow, so the battle was incredibly easy. Now with Fly, I can fly to the Lake of Rage before challenging Jasmine. There aren't any mandatory battles in the area. Then I encountered Gyarados. Unlike in Gen 2 games, I can just run away from the Gyarados, so I did. I then went back to Jasmine and gave her the medicine. Then went to battle her. She gave me some trouble because I wanted EXP to go to Kenya, then I just decided to use Quilava against her and won. I then took on the Team Rocket headquarters. I fought 2 rounds of grunts from the security statues, so 4 trainers, then the 1 grunt with 4 Rattatas. I then walk on the checkerboarded path and run from the Geodude encounters. There are 3 more grunts and 2 more for the passwords. Then Petrel, who wasn't a problem. Then the double battle is next. I then have to take on 3 electrodes. Each are a different battle. You actually can run away from them, but they'll stay there. And you have to either beat them or catch them, so I beat them. Then on to the ice gym. There are only 2 gym trainers that you need to battle. One in the first room with the Jinx, then one in the last room, then Price himself. Price was difficult, so I went back to Goldenrod City and got more proteins. Then I was able to beat him. Then Team Rocket took over the radio tower. There are 2 grunts that I need to take on. Everyone else is skippable. Then I take on Petrel. Petrel was difficult, but I was able to beat him. Then came the 4th Silver encounter. Silver has some powerful Pokemon this time around. I ended up using Quilava to lower the defense of Feraligatr, and then swept through the team with Kenya. There are 3 grunts underground that you need to battle, then you can return to the radio tower. This is where you can pick up a very important held item, the Amulet Coin, which increases the money won in a trainer battle. If the Pokemon holding it is used, this is massive for EVs. There are 2 grunts that you must battle. then Proton, Ariana, and Archer. After taking back the radio tower, it is time to go to the 8th gym. But, a note to anyone watching, go to the radio tower and get the blue card for the password radio show. If you get 25 points, you can get a rare candy. There are no required trainer battles getting to the ice cave and leaving said cave. So the next battle is in the Dragon Gym. There are two trainers in the gym that you must battle. Then it's time for Claire. Claire is a difficult battle, so I use quilava for lowering Gyarados' defenses. Then I use the metronome to increase the power of Fly to destroy Claire. After Claire comes the Kimono Girls, 5 separate battles that are all very difficult. So I sold what stuff I had to the department store for more EVs and special defense, but I should have bought more protein since I can give the EVs until the EV total hits 100. I can still give it protein at 99 attack EVs, for example. But that still wasn't enough. Fly just isn't very effective against Jolteon. Then I looked at J Rose's original video, so I went to the department store and got the TM for return and used the silk scarf item to increase its attack power. I also got the beak item for flying type moves just in case. Using the return silk scarf combo, I destroyed the Kimono Girls. I honestly should have used that strategy for the Claire Gym battle. I then did the mission for Ho-Oh, but I can just run away from the Ho-Oh encounter, so I have to. Now it's time for the Pokemon League. I can surf on the water and get past most of the trainers. There are only 3 that I have to fight for the whole route before Victory Road. Then, at the end of Victory Road, comes the 5th rival battle. It wasn't a very difficult battle at all, as my Fearow is much higher level than his Pokemon. Then comes the Pokemon League. I threw myself repeatedly at the league a couple of times, and I lost each time, so I went throughout the world and got what items I could, like rare candies. Will was difficult, but Koga wasn't bad at all. Kenya beat him without trouble. Bruno was a major problem, so I used all 5 of the rare candies that I had gotten until then and took on Bruno. Bruno's Onyx is powerful, and nothing I have is very effective against it, but eventually I beat him. His Sandstorm was a huge problem, so I would switch into my other Pokemon until it subsided. Then came Karen. Karen took a few tries, but I won soon enough. Finally, the champion, Lance. I saved my game and entered the battle. I began the battle with Togepi, so Kenya wasn't hit with Gyarados' Intimidate. Lance beat me a few times since Thunder attacks would obliterate me. I got lucky with a few Thunder misses, then I used Return Metronome strategy and won. I became the champion at 79 battles. For reference, when doing minimum battles in gold, J Rose was at 93 battles when fighting Lance. On the boat to Kanto, there was only one battle, being the Lazy Sailor, just like in gold. Kanto is an interesting case, as there are very few needed battles, but before anything, I gave Quilava the XP share. See, in order to win the challenge and get to red, I need a few things. Mainly, a Pokemon that can learn Rock Climb, a Pokemon like Typhlosion. Also, something very cool is that all 3 fully evolved starters can learn Rock Climb. So now I have to use what few battles are left to get a Typhlosion. First I go to Sabrina and avoided all trainers in her gym and took the fight to her. I beat her easily using the Silk Scarf and Return combo. Since it was only 3 Pokemon, I used Silk Scarf to get the 20% boost from the start. Then my next battle is Erica. None of her trainers are necessary battles, so I went straight to her. I have a clear type advantage, so I beat her easily. Third gym leader in a row is Janine, and I beat her as well using Drill Peck and Metronome. I then attempted Surge, but he was too strong, so I left for elsewhere. I then wanted to take on Misty, but first I have to do the power plant mission. I thought about going through the common route, but I went around the map to go through Lavender Town and the Rock Tunnel. I battled one gentleman, Milton, and he only had 1 Pokemon. I then went to the power plant, back to Misty's gym, and then I took on the last Team Rocket grunt. On my way to Misty, I noticed a number of trainer battles. So first I went to Seafoam Island and fought the swimmer in front of the entrance. I then was able to take on Surge and win. On the way to Misty, there are 5 required battles, but some of them are low enough levels for me to use my starter. During these 5 battles, Quilava evolved to Typhlosion. There was one double battle, then one more battle in the gauntlet, then I got to Misty. Misty proved difficult, so I went to Blaine's gym and I took on his 3 required subordinates. During this time, I attempted Brock, but he was insanely difficult. His 5 rock-type Pokemon overwhelmed my Kenya. Then I shuffled through those 3 gym leaders. Then I went to the game corner and got the move Hidden Power. And not only that, but the man there said that Typhlosion's hidden power would be Grass. And Grass is 4 times effective against all of Brock's Pokemon. Meganium has 80 and Feraligatr has 78 speed, but that can be solved with Speedy V vitamins, but still Typhlosion might be the best choice. If not, Meganium would be the best choice if you can get past Faulkner and Bugsy. But even with that, Brock was too much. I was able to beat Misty. It was difficult, but Hidden Power proved useful again against Quagsire and Typhlosion's great speed. Blaine was the next trainer. He was difficult, but after strategy, I was able to win. After all that, I went back to Brock. I used a few rare candies that I had in Typhlosion, now had the power to beat Brock. I also started using a strategy of constantly switching out Ekanses to use Intimidate to continually cut attack. It took a while, but I was able to beat Brock. Finally, the final gym leader, Blue. This fight was difficult. He beat me repeatedly. I then went through the world and used any more rare candies that I had and pressed on. My strategy didn't work, but then I found that Typhlosion was able to outspeed Executor and Rhydon. And Rhydon was weak to Hidden Power. I again don't have the footage, but Arcanine was a wall for my team. What I had to do was beat Executor and Rhydon with Typhlosion, then I had to use Kenya's Return and Metronome to build up power against Arcanine, and I won against Blue for an even 100 battles. Now, on to the last battle of the game, Red. There are no necessary trainers to Red, so I soon was on Mount Silver. I stood in front of Red and battled him. This did not go well at all. I tried multiple strategies, including the Choice Scarf, Silk Scarf, Metronome, and none of it worked. Pikachu outlevels me by 18 levels. Its special attack is doubled from its Light Ball, and Red has 4 full restores. In one attempt, I was able to beat Pikachu by stalling and letting Pikachu get hurt by hail, but even when I can do that, Lapras is a massive problem. I don't think it's possible for me to beat Red. That being said, I do still have the saved game, so to all of you watching, what are the battles should I do as the final battle? Did I win the challenge? Well, there is something I can do. At the expense of one more battle, I can gain access to the Pokeathlon, and there I can win rare candies. Potentially, I could spend a very long time doing minigames until both of my Pokemon are level 100. There's also a possibility of me getting rare candies from the radio contest, but that would take actual years since I'd need 25 rare candies for 25 points for one rare candy, and then only one rare candy per day for both of my strong Pokemon. So, if it is somehow possible to beat Red, the minimum battles is 101 if you can somehow beat Red without any more battles. But if you need the Pokeathlon, then the minimum battles is 102, including that one trainer that you technically don't need to battle, but need to battle in order to get to the Pokeathlon. So, I'll make everyone a deal. If this video does really well, I'll get started on part 2 and grind out minigames until I can beat Red. J-Rose, I now speak directly to you. One day, you might do a minimum battle for this game. I will be incredibly impressed if you can win against Red. If anyone watching wants to give this a try, take my advice. Get attack EVs early for Kenya, maybe even special attack EVs for Typhlosion or Meganium, whichever one you choose. Save rare candies for as late as you can. Also, I still haven't traveled the whole map using rock climb to get to items. If any one of you knows if there's are many, many rare candies in place that can only be accessed with rock climb, maybe, just maybe, there's a chance to win this challenge. Until then, I'm at least decent. Thank you for watching. Alright, editing at least decent here. Here is just a look at what I did for EVs. I've made a little chart here with the Pokemon I have, and these labels are just so I can remember what EVs I get for gym trainers when I need to retry them over and over again. As you can see, I did max the EVs for special attack pretty early for Cyndaquil and pretty early for attack. Kenya did max EVs, but I can still give some to Cyndaquil. And then here you can see as I scroll down just every battle that I had in order, labeled. Yeah. And then I have notes if a battle is really significant. Yeah, these 3 electrodes are 3 each, which is just a scam. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really fun challenge, honestly. Very fun. Alright. There's Lance. These are where I use my rare candies. Honestly, defense is really big for Bruno and such. Defense for Fearos, and then if you're gonna try again, use the strategy of switching out the Ekansis and then increase your Fearos defense, because rock is your biggest enemy in this competition. And here we are. I never ended up being red. Oh well, but an even 100 is also very nice. Alright, that's it.